Hi guys, in the big data, there is one interesting topic for which some students told me, sir, if you could help us out in that. So I was glad to help you out in that. That is called as a case of confusion matrix. Okay, so let's see what is the case of confusion matrix. So as it is a matrix, it's going to have like columns. Okay, so what is being done in the case of this confusion matrix? A model is being there, and using that model, we are trying to find out something. जैसे whether the model is indicating that a customer will default or customer will not default. Actually, ये similar है जो actually all of us have gone through that bad phase of Corona and Corona test. It's similar to that Corona test. So like if I go for a Corona test and test says that test is positive, okay, and then I could like say that it's positive. I'm writing 2 times positive for some reason, and then I realize that I actually have Corona. So actual Corona is there. Then that we call it used to call it like true positive. And sometimes the test should be positive, but I don't have any symptoms. So it's like I don't have corona, so no corona. So in that case, the test which came out to be positive was a wrong positive. I don't have any symptoms of corona. I don't have corona, but test is still giving positive. So that's used to be called as false positive. I think you hope this. I mean, I hope that you are able to recollect this term. And we used to be praying ये कैटेगरी में अगर मेरा टेस्ट पॉजिटिव है लेकिन मेरा कोई सिम्टम्स नहीं स्टिल वी यूज्ड टू काइंड ऑफ व्हाट इज टू बी कॉल्ड एज लाइक पुटिंग अस इन द रूम आइसोलेट नहीं क्या होता है वो वर्ड आई एम नॉट एबल टू गेट आइसोलेट bad in memory I'm not able to recollect that word you got me I think okay okay, and if the test is coming out to be negative, in that case, we used to be happy that test came out to be negative. But sometimes we used to understand कि later on कि मेरा तो कोरोना था. That means ये जो negative है, ये negative है false negative. Because although test came out to be negative, I mean I am having corona, but test is not signifying that. So that means the test is bad. Test is का negative जो है wrong है. And if test is negative and I don't have corona, that means it's truly negative. Okay, so that is what the bad memories of corona was about. So similarly इसी लाइन में ये मॉडल अभी यूज करेंगे हम instead of test. The model could indicate that the person, the borrower is going to default, or the model could say that the person or a borrower is not going to default. So if the model is indicating that the person is going to default, it's like model is positively saying that the person will default. So we are calling it like positive. Okay, and if the person actually defaults, if there's an actual default, then we call it like true positive. And if actually the person is genuine, non-defaulter, but model is calling defaulter. So model is calling defaulter, but person is not a defaulter person, a genuine person, then we call it like false positive. Okay. Similarly, so basically when the model was calling a defaulter as a defaulter, it's true positive. And when model was calling a genuine guy a defaulter, it's like false positive. Okay, so now the next, when the model is saying the person is not going to be defaulter, so not का मतलब है negative. The model is saying person is not going to be defaulter, so not का मतलब है negative. And then you came to know that the model said that a person is not defaulter, but actually he is a defaulter. Then that negative is false negative. Okay, because model said he's not going to default, but actually he did default. It's a false negative. And similarly, model said no default, and actually he did not default, so it's like a true negative. Okay, so I hope you have got it. And this and this are like genuine thing. I mean, they're like model is good over here, like true positive and true negative. So out of the total ones, so we'll write total of here, total of here, or you can write total of here and here also. So something like this. I don't know. I'm just writing 40, 60, something like 30, 70. And total will be 100, 40 plus 60 or 30 plus 70. So your total, a true positive and true negative out of total is what is called as accuracy. Okay, तो एक एग्जांपल लेके समझते हैं इसको, that will be more easy to understand. एक क्या और एक दो एग्जांपल लेंगे. तो first let's look at this example. इसको थोड़ा सा मैं ये करता हूँ छोटा कर दो, I can complete, I mean I can make it in that page itself. All right, so the total samples are 78. Okay, so over here the total, or over here the total is going to be 78. All right, so the model classified 18 companies, so there is no default over here. So model is saying dividend cut. So I'll just write model के लिए M, and dividend cut DC, and model is saying no dividend cut. Okay, so when model says dividend cut, then we'll say like positive positive. It could be like true positive or false positive. And when model is saying no dividend cut, we'll say negative negative. No का मतलब है negative. So dividend cut मतलब positive and no मतलब negative. And then we'll write over here actual dividend cut and actually no dividend cut. So the first one, if you look at it, model is saying dividend cut and actually there is a dividend cut. So this positive would be called as a genuine or a true positive. Let me like put a with a green sign. Okay, so it's like a true positive. Okay. Second one, model, I mean over there I'm saying model is saying dividend cut, but actually there is no dividend cut. So that would be like a false positive. Okay. Third one, model is saying no dividend cut, but actually the dividend cut ho raha hai. So that's like false negative. Okay, because model is saying no dividend cut, but actually the dividend cut is there. And last one, model is saying no dividend cut, and actually also there's no dividend cut. So that would be called as true negative. Okay, so this and this will be kind of the accuracy. So let's see, let's try to fill that data. Okay, so let's try to fill that data. So the model correctly classified 18 companies. Correctly matlab like true hoga. The true positive or true negative. Correctly classified 18 companies that had a dividend cut. मतलब जिनका dividend cut actually हुआ था. So जिनका dividend cut actually हुआ था, वैसे 18 companies were correctly identified. So जिनका actually dividend cut हुआ था, वैसे 18 companies model has correctly classified those 18 companies. So this true positive is going to be 18 over here. Because model has correctly identified 18 companies which had actually had a dividend cut. Next line indicates that the 46 companies that did not have a dividend cut were correctly classified. So 46 company का dividend cut नहीं हुआ था. There was no dividend cut for 46 companies and model correctly identified. So 46 companies which did not have a dividend cut, model correctly identifies those. So this is going to be those 46. Model correctly identified 46 such companies where dividend cut was not there, model correctly identified them. Okay, and there should be one more and then we'll be able to fill in because अभी के लिए हम fill नहीं कर पा रहे total. So let's see, the model failed to identify three companies. यहाँ पे failure है, मतलब false वाला trigger हो रहा है. Model failed to identify 3 companies which actually had dividend cut. So actually there was a dividend cut, but model did not identify them. There were 3 such companies जिनका dividend cut actually हुआ था लेकिन model failed to identify it. So model said that there will not be any dividend cut, but actually there was a dividend cut. So they actually had a dividend cut, but model failed to identify it. There were 3 such companies. Model said no dividend cut, but actually there was a dividend cut. So now we can fill up the entire table. 18 plus 3 would be 21. Okay. 3 plus 46 is going to be 49 over here. Okay. And 78 minus 49, I think how much this will be? 78 minus 49. That's going to be 29 over here. And then 18 plus 11, I'm just marking this with the red. 18 plus 11, that will be 20. Why red? Because that's a false number. And then together the total of this 11 plus 46 is going to be 57. All right. So this we filled up the table. Now going ahead, we have to remember some things, but before that, I'll just delete these things. All right. So this false positive is called as type 1 error. I'll just write false positive is called as type 1 error. You have to remember that. And false negative, this one is called as type 2 error. So take a note, false positive is called as type 1 error and false negative is called as type 2 error. I hope you are able to recollect this type 1 error and type 2 errors from your level 1. Level 2 maybe actually. Rejecting a true null is type 1 error and accepting a false null is called as type 2 error. Rejecting true null type 1 and accepting false null type 2. So here you have to remember that false positive, this false positive is called as type 1 error and this false negative is called as type 2 error. Okay, so just remember that false positive type 1 and false negative type 2 error. Hope you have taken a note of that. So now going ahead, so एक है accuracy, which I had already said कि ये जो true वाले numbers है, ये true positive 18 and true negative 46, that out of 78 is accuracy. All right, so 18 plus 46, how much is that? That's the correct one, 18. 18 defaults, sorry, 18 dividend cuts were correctly identified, and 46 no dividend cuts were correctly identified. So 18 companies which were going to cut dividends were correctly identified, and 46 companies which were not going to cut dividend cut were properly identified. So 18 plus 46 is the accurate result out of 78. So accuracy is going to be 82%. Okay, that's the accuracy. The first thing that is accuracy. Okay, lot of things are isme. So the second one is precision, which is denoted as PR or precision. P sometimes or just PR. I mean sometimes PR or sometimes precision. So let's say P. Precision is P. So what is done in the case of precision? Look at it very, very carefully. So what happens in the case of precision? Look at it carefully. Why I'm saying look at carefully, because textbook में वो काफी ऐसे confusing words में दिया है. Otherwise concept is very simple. So what does the precision focuses on? Precision and the other one also, the recall, which we're gonna talk in a while. Also, both of them focuses on the positive wala part. Like this is the reason why the model is there. Model is trying to say that there will be a dividend cut. So over here in the precision, we look at that 18 times the model has predicted precisely. Okay, 18 times the model has predicted the dividend cut precisely. So that will be there in the numerator of both. Both matlab the precision also and recall also. So let me write that recall also. Recall is R. So recall may be in the numerator that correctly identified 18 dividend cuts are being covered. Okay, just the denominator will be different in precision and in the recall. So in the precision, what is being covered is ki this 18, the correctly identified dividend cuts were out of this 29. So model made a total predictions of 29 dividend cuts. Okay, so model made that there will be total of 29 companies which are going to have a dividend cut, but out of which model was right only 18 times. So model ka precision is 18 out of 29, because model said ki dividend cut wale 29 companies will be there, but in reality only 18 companies were there. So this 11 out of 29 was a type 1 error. Remember, I had mentioned that false positive is type 1 error. So precision of the model is 29 जो defaults predict किए थे model ने, उसमें से actually कितने defaults है. So just put it over here. Precision is going to be out of total predictions about default or about dividend cut, DC or dividend cut, how much was precise? Okay, so over here, sorry about my bad handwriting, out of the total predictions of default or dividend cut, how much were precise? Okay, so there were a total of 29 predictions that the model made about the dividend cut, out of which the model was right 18 times. So 18 divided by 29 is called as the precision. Then what is recall? So let's look at the recall. Let me just go back. Yeah, fine. So recall, when we had mentioned the model is about finding of the dividend cut or finding of the default. So model made correct forecast about 18 companies which are going to have a dividend cut. So 18 companies that actually had a dividend cut were properly identified by the model. So that 18 will be there in the numerator. But in the denominator, instead of this 29, this 21 would be there. What does that 21 indicate? Out of actually 21 companies having a default or a dividend cut, 18 were correctly recalled by the model. All right, so that will be 18 divided by 21. So basically, in the case of recall, we look at out of total companies which are having a dividend cut or which are having a default, how many were recalled by the model? How many were correctly recalled by the model? Okay, so basically in both the cases, let me look at it one more time. Precision and in the recall, we look at the 18 only in the numerator. That is the accurate defaults, accurate dividend cut. In the precision, we look at in the denominator ki how much was the precision of the model. So model made 29 predictions, out of which 18 were accurate. So 18 upon 29 will be there in the denominator. And the recall, out of total defaults of 21 or total dividend cuts of 21, 18 were recalled properly or 18 were identified properly. So 18 out of 21 is going to be recalled. All right. So hope that is clear, precision and recall. And accuracy तो was clear कि accuracy was the easiest कि ये जो correct था 18 and 46 which were correct out of the 78, the true ones 18 and 46 out of 70, that was accuracy. All right, so accuracy, precision, recall, I hope that's clear. So let's calculate this 18 out of 29, 18 divided by 29. That's like 62 percentage. So this would mean that the probability of type 1 error is going to be ये कितना था ये 29 था ना ये 78 delete हो गया by mistake 78 minus 49 yeah 29. So basically probability of type 1 error, this was the probability of type 1 error, will be 38%. You can see 11 upon 29, which means out of 29 companies which model said that they're going to default, 11 did not default. So model was wrong 11 out of 29 times. That is called as a type 1 error. Precision का उल्टा, मतलब precision अगर 62 है तो type 1 error would be like 38%. तो basically अगर type 1 error को कम करना है तो precision को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. So this is what I had mentioned in my notes over here. If you want a high precision, obviously the type 1 error is what we need to reduce. So focus, if you want to like focus on reducing type 1 error, maximize the precision, because that's what is. If precision is 62, type 1 error is 38%. If precision is 92, type 1 error would be reduced to 8%. So reduce type 1 error, increase the precision, focus on the precision. Okay, recall calculate karte 18 upon 21, 18 divided by 21. So recall is going to be some 85, 86%. In the exam ऐसे मत करना, round off इतना मत करना obviously. And then there is some stupidity, something like F1 score or something. इसका कुछ मतलब नहीं है, which is like a geometric mean of this. मतलब इसका normal आप arithmetic mean करोगे तो F1 के आसपास ही आने वाला है. Let's do it. 62 plus 86 divided by 2. The F1 will be close to 74 only. But अगर actual करना तो formula is 2 into P into R divided by P plus R. Okay. ये सेम अपना ज्योमेट्रिक मीन वाला फॉर्मूला ही है, इसको सिर्फ ऐसे उन्होंने मेंशन किया, बट ये वो ज्योमेट्रिक मीन ही फॉर्मूला है. सो लेट्स डू इट. 2 into 62% into 86%, और परसेंटेज को गोली मार सकते हैं. 2 into 62 into 86 divided by 62 plus 86. Let's do it. In the numerator, 2 into 62 into 86 divided by, actually percentage लगेगा. I'm sorry. 2 into 62% into 86%. That will be the numerator. And divided by, just a second, someone is knocking at it. Sorry guys, so denominator 62% plus 86%. So denominator, so divided by, open the bracket, 0.62 plus 0.86, close the bracket. So that's 72.05%. Okay, so that's the F1, which is 2 into P into R, 2 into precision into recall divided by the precision plus recall. Okay, तो अब तक हमने क्या क्या देखा? Let's look at it one more time. एक तो accuracy देखा हमने. Accuracy is like this plus this out of this. That's accuracy. Second, we have discussed the precision and the recall. दोनों में यही रहेगा numerator में 18. Because that's actual the defaults or actual dividend cuts which were properly identified. And in the case of precision, it will be divided by total predictions made, that is 29. And in the case of recall, the actual dividend cuts wale companies, the actual defaulted wale companies. Okay, so that's the P and R, that's the precision and the recall. And I said precision का उल्टा होता है type 1 error. If precision is 62%, type 1 error would be 38%. If precision is 92%, type 1 error gets reduced to 8%. And then some F1 score stupidity, 2 into P into R divided by P plus R. और भी actually है, यही important point है, but और एक part है which is called as TPR, true positive rate या true positive ratio, and FPR, false positive rate. Okay, So उसका उन्होंने कुछ यहाँ पे I had also put it in my group, sorry, in my notes. The TPR is plotted on the y-axis and FPR is plotted on the x-axis. Okay, so very easy concept of TPR. As they say, true positive. So we need to identify the true positive, that is the positives which are correctly there. So which are like 18, जो same precision and recall में था numerator में, same 18 over here. Okay, that's the true positive. And in the case of false positive, as you can see the word false positive, as you can see the word false positive. So false positive will be there in the numerator. So true positive case में true positive will be there in the numerator. False positive case में false positive would be there in the numerator. Okay, and let's say the divided by. So let's come back to the true positive ratio. So in the case of true positive ratio, this 18 out of this 21. Okay, 18 out of this 21 will be the true positive ratio, which you will recollect, or you will recall that that was actually recall only. This 18 out of 29 was precision and 18 out of 21 was recall. So basically the TPR is same like the recall. And I think you mentioned bhi tha mere notes mein, I think TPR is same like a recall only. नहीं, I think मेरे note में, so you have to write TPR is same like recall. I think इनके इसमें mention है, I think TPR is same like recall. I think मैंने देखा है, they mentioned TPR is same like recall. Yeah, TPR is same like the recall. Okay, and then simple FPR, like false positive ratio. So ये जो false positive हमने identify किया, because false positive rate है, तो false positive will be there in the numerator out of the total. Okay, that is out of उस column का total, that is 57, 11 out of 57. Okay, so let's calculate 80 now divided by 21. Already 86% को साथ था ना, I think 86%, 85.71, and 11 out of 57, that's 19.30%. Okay, so एक बार check करते हैं answers. There's one more question in the model quiz which I'll look at it, but let's look at it. Precision था कुछ 62% था, recall was some 86%. या precision 62, recall 86. ये था accuracy हमने calculate ही नहीं किया, actually accuracy हमने करते. This is 18, I think किया था ना, 18 plus 46 divided by 78. 18 which were like, कौन सा हाईएस्ट डिलीट कर रहा हूं मैं, 18 plus 46 divided by 78, 82% I think किया था हमने. 82% is the accuracy, that's right. And ये हमने geometric mean किया था, 72% आया था, 72.05%. And FPR we just got it 19%. Yeah, FPR is 19%. तो hope it's clear. एक और एक एग्जांपल जो उन्होंने मॉडल क्विज में दिया है वो भी करते हैं. So let me record it separately, so you will be able to like apply your mind before you see the next video for this. Okay, तो एक ऐसा एक जनरल में ऐसे लिख देता हूँ, so that you'll get to know. Model says default, model says no default, actual default, actually genuine, and then total, यहाँ पे भी वो आ जाएगा total. Okay, so this is positive and this is negative. Okay, so this will be true positive because model भी default हो रहा है, actual भी default हो रहा है, and this will be false positive. Okay, and यहाँ पे model saying no default but actually default हो रहा है, so this is false negative and this will be true negative. अब ये totals को मैं कुछ नाम दे रहा हूँ, जैसे like something like this. Let's say this is A, B, and this is C and D, and then this will be like total of let's say 100. ऐसे मैं नाम दे रहा हूँ. Okay. Sorry, again, I got a call, so I got disturbed. Sorry because of that. Then we have the accuracy, which is easy. That is this true identifier, this divided by this. That is the accuracy. Okay. Second one was the second and third one was precision and the recall. So दोनों में यही जाएगा numerator में. And precision के केस में this divided by the total what model predicted as a default. So this divided by this. Okay. That would be the precision. And recall के केस में this divided by which what were the actual defaults. that is this divided by this will be the recall. So this upon this is recall, and this upon this is going to be your precision. F1 score में 2 into P into R divided by P plus R. That's your F1 score. And then your true positive rate or true positive ratio and false positive ratio. So true positive, take this as true positive and then divided by the A, that is the total, that is true positive, and that is also called as your recall. And false positive ratio में false positive divided by this total, which is called as FPR. Okay, and the last thing that we discussed, मतलब लास्टिंग नहीं है, मैंने डिस्कस किया था, बीच में ही किया था डिस्कस, तो इसमें से ये वाला जो है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज टाइप 1 एरर. So to reduce type 1 error, increase the precision. Okay, and this one is your type 2 error. Okay, so to reduce the type 2 error, you need to increase the recall. Okay, this divided by this was recall. So type 2 error को, this को कम करने के लिए recall को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा और इसको कम करने के लिए precision को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. This divided by this was precision. So to reduce the type 1 error, increase the precision, and to reduce the type 2 error, increase the recall. I hope समझा है. I hope समझा है. I hope समझा है. अगर नहीं हुआ तो look at the video again. Then try that numerical. और वो numerical में अगर difficulty आ रहा है, cross fingers cross नहीं आएगा, अगर आया तो मेरा वीडियो देख लेना वापस. ये जो numerical का ये वाला जो मॉडल क्विज में दिया है. Where? Oh, here, this one. The model quiz 5.3 and question number 2 to 6. Okay, just see that video. I mean, try that, and if you're not able to, then see that video.